Well, hello, everybody there. Good to see you. Let's talk about branding, shall we? So, branding sometimes gets a bad name. Ironically, branding might have a bad brand. The idea is that branding is usually done as opposed to direct response. So you're doing branding advertising. It's like you're buying the name to a football stadium or something. Just getting your name out there, which is, when you're a certain size business, maybe that works for you. But for most of us, we do kind of a direct response kind of advertising, meaning I'm going to run a $500 ad over here, and I want to get back $5,000 worth of business. Right? That's like what most people think of as kind of direct advertising versus branding, which usually has a nebulous sort of, oh, I put some money out and sponsor the local baseball team or something, or the Kitty Little League or something, right? Or put my name on some T-shirts, and that's branding, right? So people who are kind of like, well, no, I'm a real business person. I don't got time for that. I got to make some money with the money. I get my money, work for me and make something happen. So you're kind of like, so branding is not really a big deal. I don't do a lot of brand advertising, blah, blah, blah. All right. So let's talk about what branding actually is. Like there might be some pointy-headed academic definitions here and there. Here's my definition of branding. Branding is what you're known for. How many people know it and what you're known for amongst that group of people who do know it. So kind of like the strength of your brand is how many people know who you are, period. What they think of you is the quality of your brand. So you have the strength of your brand is okay. If everybody in town knows who you are, that's a very strong brand locally. If only six people and your mom know it, then that's a very weak brand. Now, your brand can be a good brand in terms of quality, like, well, only six people know who you are, but they love what you do for them, and you are just the greatest. They love it, right? Or the whole town can have heard your name as the most recent suspect in a series of axe murders, right? So you could have a strong brand, you could have a very well-known brand that's not good. Okay. Now the old saying that, oh, just any publicity is good publicity. No, no, that's actually not true. Awareness is good, and as long as it's reasonably positive. But there is such a thing as obviously you don't want to be known as the local axe murderer, as I said. Okay, so brand is something that you need to have, that it's a shortcut for the public. Here's what branding actually is. If you don't have any brand, people don't know who you are, and you advertise, you're advertising cold. Meaning the people who are getting your ad have never even heard of you. You're the first thing they get from you is a pitch. Come buy from me, right? Come get my special. Come get my deal. Now, in some markets, that's okay. There's not a lot of brands. We don't care so much about it. That's good enough. Okay. However, if they've heard of you already, if you have a strong brand that people have kind of heard of you already, when your advertising goes out, they go like, "Oh, I've heard of them." Some sort of vague positive association. Oh, can we read? Let me read their ad. Or, oh, that's what they do. I didn't know that's what they did. You ever had someone say, "Oh yeah, now I really get what you do." Well, that's because they knew your brand, but they didn't know really specific about the brand, right? So the reason I put in there that a brand will protect you is this: you're running along in business doing a great job and there's a downturn in the economy. Could happen, right? Or something even happens to your business and you have some disaster go on, you lose key staff, you have some bad delivery, something that goes on, right? Brand kind of has an inertia to it that people will still think well of you and they know you until you really prove them wrong. Until your brand, I mean, we've all had a great example of Sears, right? Sears for me used to be the brand. Like when I was a kid, man, you wanted to buy your stuff from Sears. That was cool. Like you bought, Craftsman hammers from there, or appliances from there. It was going to be on point. It was going to be awesome, right? All right. Well, Sears has spent the last 25 years convincing me that that's no longer true. The last time I bought something from them, I was fairly disappointed, and then I gave them one more chance. It still sucked, and I even thought one more time, maybe. No, no, no. They have changed for me, and probably many people out there are nodding their heads. Oh, I can see people nodding their heads. I see you out there nodding your heads that, yeah, Sears has screwed it up on their brand, right? Now, thing is though, those last three purchases I made with them were on the strength of that brand still surviving despite reality had changed a little bit. That's why I say branding can protect you. It's definitely an asset. And I actually believe as the economy continues to develop, we're right now in a service economy, right? The US has gone from, we started off as an agrarian farming economy, right? Then we moved into a manufacturing economy during the middle part of the last century. And now we've slipped in the last 20, 30 years into being an information and services economy. Okay. We're about to move into whatever comes next. I'm not even sure what that's called, but it's different, right? AI, blah, 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 all this stuff is coming along. So I've actually looked at it myself and said, like, okay, there seems to be two things that would kind of proof you against that. And one of them is the strength of your brand. Are you well known and well thought of by a lot of people? Think about this. celebrities out there, they can make money doing anything. Whether we got the one guy doing the cell phone mint, what's his name, Ryan Reynolds doing the cell phone commercials. You got The Rock and other guys make money, make $1 billion doing vodka, right? Because they bring their celebrity well knownness, their own brand to, and they pick a product and boom, it goes. That's why people hire celebrities to be advertisers, to do advertisements for them, is because they can transfer that brand authority. So you need to have your own version of it. Now, you don't have to be The Rock, you don't have to be like the super A-list celebrity, but maybe you do. Maybe with 1,000 people, you can be that A-list celebrity who's like you are known for having all the solutions to health, bam, in your town. You are just the person who has the answers. You're the person on whatever topic you're at, you're dealing with. In our case, for most of our clients, is the healthcare world. You get known by 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 people just in your area as being this brand, this person, this being, this group that stands for good health, healthcare without side effects, something like that, right? The other, you're against the constant drugging or against surgery and against the other more atrocious forms of healthcare that people want to stay away from usually. So that's your brand, and the more people who know it, the stronger you are, and the more they think positive about the more you can get out of that, the more you can kind of harvest from that brand. So now that, of course, the next question comes like, well, John, what's that mean? I should go out and sponsor the local little league baseball team and put my names on some T-shirts? Sure, that would be a start. Maybe a little more on point is to figure out what 10 to 15,000 people do you want to be known by, sorry. Who do you want to be branded with? I mean, it's nice, but you don't need a 12-year-old to know your practice's name and what you do. Your brand doesn't need to be that strong with that person versus, hey, maybe everybody, down the street who's like, works for a living. Now, if they knew your name and they thought of you in healthcare as a strong brand, that's more important. That's why with our clients anyway, I mean, you could do the same thing for yourself here. With our clients, we run what are called branding campaigns. It's a little tiny small Facebook campaign. It's actually very inexpensive. Runs just a little bit, but it targets specifically in that area just the wider group that doctor would want to be branded with, right? So you're not trying to brand across the whole country, you're not trying to be Dr. Oz or whatever. You're trying to be you standing for something amongst that 10, 20, 30, 50,000 person population. And it doesn't take that much money to do that. It doesn't take that. You just have to do it continuously. But when you're there, it starts to, people have heard of you. And what's interesting is the way you can tell, oh, hey, here's a good trick. You want to know how strong your brand is? I can tell you how to tell. Oh, my brand is great. Yeah, you don't know nothing. Here's how you tell how strong your brand is. You go out and you go to Google, and you can tell with certain tools how often a search term gets searched for. And if nobody is searching for you, you have no brand. And if everybody is searching for you, you have a strong brand. So look at the number of searches per month for your name or your company name or some variation of your identity, who you are to the public. And that tells you how strong your brand is. It's sort of an ambient demand. Now, that does not tell you how valuable it is or anything. It just tells you a general measurement of, well, is it stronger this week compared to last week? Well, there are more searches this week compared to last week or this month and last month. You can tell if your brand is going in what direction is a general trend. Is it getting stronger or getting weaker? Okay. Now, again, if you on Facebook, I could, I'll probably end up doing a whole other training, maybe perhaps on how to build your own brand online. It's not that difficult. It's a pretty cool little thing. It actually really fits in with doing social media as social media is supposed to be done without necessarily paying for everything you get, but actually kind of connecting with people, generating a lot of followers, that sort of thing, right? That would kind of an indication of brand strength. And there's a whole process by which you can do that. And I will probably do a whole webinar on how that's actually accomplished. But what you can do now is post on Facebook, post on social media about who you are and what you do. Don't necessarily have to be salesy. Show your successes, show what you think, teach people a little something, do what you can, right? Just build your brand with them, their awareness of who you are and what you stand for and what you do. And that's all you have to do. Don't get all like weird about it. Just be simple, be social about it, and the social media parts takes care of itself. And then you go ahead and you boost those posts and various other things to target the right people. That's how you do it. Now the clients that we have are doing that do great. Actually, we've noticed that doing that little tiny small Facebook marketing campaign, which is maybe like half or a quarter the size of what our normal program is, we do that little thing there. And we notice all their advertising works better. All of the Facebook ads work better. Why? Because they're now going into a warm market and people at least have kind of heard of them. And Facebook also, there's certain things that Facebook rewards you for in that whole line too, because now they know who you are and what you stand for. So Facebook can connect you to the right people. All right. So I don't want to go into too much more of this. I just want you to realize that branding is not one of those like, not for me. No, you got to have branding. You gotta have it if you want a durable business. Hey, someone could come along and buy your business and give you $10 million to go away. Yeah, they're gonna buy your brand. They're not gonna buy your desk. They're not gonna buy your cool coffee mugs. They're gonna buy the brand that you built up. And that brand can be around you. It can be around the name of the practice, what it is you deliver, it can be around the product you deliver, or just having been there for 25 years. But it has to be anchored to something, and it has to have some value and has to have a lot of people who know who it is. And if you've got that, then you have a strong brand. Now, sometimes you're like, well, how do I make sure my brand stands for the right thing? That's all in what you communicate, what you're known for, showing your successes, those kind of things go a long way towards building that brand. All right. Anyway, I could go on for quite a while about this. But that is one of the biggest things I see that you could kind of future proof your business with is by not devoting a ton of money to your branding campaign, but devote a little bit to your branding campaign, a little bit on the side, a little have it running all the time, and eventually you become very well known. Okay. Whew. Well, that's it. That's all I got time to say today. But thank you guys for tuning in and send me your questions and whatnot, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.